Do you have someone on your team that no matter what you do just won't communicate or communicate fully? Are you getting one-word answers or avoidance to talk at all? If so, this week's episode should help you unravel what really might be going on. But before we get started, make sure you subscribe to my channel for the best leadership and team building advice. And hit the bell to be notified when I post a new video every Thursday, where you find the tools to shape the leader you want to be. Welcome to this week's episode. My name is Renata from renataporter.com. Sometimes there's a bit more to the story when you have an employee or a team member who won't open up. Today I will discuss how to get to the root of the issues and put you on a path of resolution. Don't forget to download today's worksheet so you can complete your own personal path. All right, let's get started. Number one, is the employee introverted or uncomfortable speaking to any manager because they put them on another level? That's okay as long as you as the manager are treating them the same as everyone else. In casual conversations, try to engage them in some way. Make eye contact or nod at them. Keep your one-on-ones even if it means that you're pulling information out of them or it just doesn't seem to flow as easily. The key is that you treat them with the same honesty and respect that you treat everyone else. It shows that you value the entire team. Number two, have you ensured the lines of communication are really open? Do you repeatedly tell and show your employees that they can come to you, or do you sit in your office with your door closed or at your desk with your headset on? Both send a message of leave me alone. In meetings, do you ask for feedback or ideas and actually listen to the responses? Do you encourage that kind of communication? Basically, you need to check yourself and make sure you aren't the one closing off the communication versus the employee. Number three, evaluate how you speak to your employees. Check your tone and demeanor. If every time an employee comes to you and they get dismissed, then why would they even bother? I see this happening a lot. You may honestly be busy, however, they see it as you don't care. So you have to think about how you dismiss them. You could very easily tell them that you're busy right now, but you do want to hear what they have to say. Ask them to come back at another time, or is it possible that you could push your next meeting for 5 minutes? The same is true if you are impatient with your staff or, overbearing. This is another situation where you honestly need to check your behavior. Are they avoiding you for a good reason? All right, time for the question of the day. How do you get your employees to communicate? Number four, do they trust you? In a previous episode, we discussed building trust with your team. I'll put a link to that in the description below. But what comes to mind are two different scenarios. One, do they trust that you will actually listen and hear what they're saying? That can be in a team or one-on-one situation. And two, are you trustworthy? Do you gossip? Do they feel safe that if they speak to you in confidence that you will manage the situation appropriately and aren't going to run around speaking about them behind their backs? I know that probably sounds far-fetched, but unfortunately it's not. In either situation, if they aren't talking to you, they're probably talking to one another, even if it's only slightly. Your team watches you and forms opinions about your behavior. So you need to control that narrative by modeling the right behavior. Sometimes it has to be a conscious decision to change how you approach situations. Number five, do you publicly thank those who communicate or model great acts of communication? It can be simple, like, thank you for sharing that with me, or that's a great idea, or that sounds like something we can build off of. All ways to show the rest of the team that you want them to communicate. Hopefully this week's episode has provided you with some ways that you can get your team to open up. Don't forget to get this week's worksheet. It'll help you reflect and build your own personal plan. I'll put the link to that below. If you like this week's episode, please let me know by liking it and subscribing, and please share it with your friends. I'd also love to read your comments if you felt what I shared today was helpful. Lastly, be sure to visit my website, renataporter.com, because there you'll find content I don't share anywhere else. Thanks very much and see you next week.